The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show, Tuesday Live. I am the big guy, Ryback. Thank you as always for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, streaming live on Instagram and TikTok, the big guy, Ryback 22. As always, this show is presented by Feed Me More Nutrition, premium supplements for men and women, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no artificial sweeteners or colors, vegan friendly, available on feedmemore.com. You can save 20% as always with discount code Ryback Show 20, Ryback Show 20 on feedmemore.com. So if you want to show your love and support, try the best supplements on the planet. You can do so by purchasing them on feedmemore.com. What's going on? Good to see everybody. Teal, I don't like that tone. I'm going to block you right off the bat. See you later, Teal. I'm fascinated by the people with the chips that think like, I don't know if they think they're insulting me by it. I don't know what the deal is, but like I was supposedly the number one meme or number one or GIF, whatever you call those things on Discord. I don't know what that was sent, but it was the top one of me eating chips. So it was, it always makes me smile. But I've always said the people are like, yo, eat Ruffles, yo, eat some Ruffles, Ryback. And I don't really, I'm like, yeah, yo, I just ate them that one time, yo. You know, I did a video, yo, got over 1 million views, yo. You go make a video eating Ruffles, yo. No, I've not been watching the Olympics. I never have. Ever since I was a kid, I never really have been outside of, you know, if something was on and if it was a sprint or something and it just happened to be on and like, I've never seeked it out or I just don't, I live my life. So I would, last night I went to go put on Raw actually to watch a little bit of wrestling. And I guess it aired earlier here, or I don't even know if it did air in Vegas. It was because I didn't see it on the TV guide deal, but they had the Olympics on and it was like beach volleyball. And I go, shit. So I just put it on Impractical Jokers and turned the volume down and then did a little bit of work and took the dogs for a walk and did my softball for the scar tissue and called it a night. Kobe goes, any healthy, high-calorie snacks, foods for bulking up? I work at McDonald's, and it's tempting not to eat fried foods. Yeah, you got to have a lot of discipline. And unfortunately, you're in an environment where you're around food that's going to smell, and it's designed to smell a certain way in those kitchens, you know, where you need to essentially meal prep and have your food. And I don't know what the situation is at McDonald's. My recommendation is you don't eat anything from McDonald's. So on a regular basis, obviously it depends. There's a lot that goes into that and what you're able to do, you know, simple high calorie meals, you know, beans and rice. Beans and rice are very cheap, by the way. You can actually eat healthy foods cheaper if you cook them and don't buy the processed version. So if you bought like bags of beans and then in bags of rice, you can buy huge bags of those too, by the way, very, very cheap. Cook a big thing of beans and rice, put them in 2 big separate containers or put them in like a bunch, order some cheap, go to the store, buy some cheap Tupperware that you could reuse, and you put you know, your servings of beans and rice. Rice is a very calorie dense food, but what I would do is, and again, if you can get black rice is the healthiest of them in my opinion, or a brown rice. But even if you can only get a white rice, it's fine as long as you get, you know, some pinto beans. Or a lot of people, you know, cooking beans is a very simple process. But here's the deal with beans, and I didn't know this either, big dumb Ryback. Like with beans, you got to soak them usually, you know, 8-10 hours. So before you cook them, so like soak them overnight in a big pot or a big bowl, whatever you use. I use this big wooden bamboo bowl that I have. I put the beans, a mixture of beans in it, fill it up with water and soak them overnight, and then put them in the pot in the morning when I'm doing my foods. And I cook those, my lentils, and then the black rice, and then I put them in their big containers, and then I portion them out. I have my scale when I cook my performance meals. 113 grams is a serving of beans, 25 grams of carbs, I believe, per serving. And I believe it's 7 grams of fiber, if I'm not mistaken, and 10 grams of protein per serving, per 113 grams of cooked beans on the scale. And then what I'll do is that, and I'd usually half a serving or a full serving, depending on how many carbs I'm going to have for the day with my black rice. But you could do that, my man, so easily, and put that in a bowl. And what I would do is, if you want up the protein a little bit even more, you buy some nutritional yeast, or depending on what if you're eating animal products, you put the product in there. If you're still eating that, which I'm going to advise against, but if you are, like your chicken or beef or whatever it is, and you mix it in, and you can easily get a good amount of calories doing that, very, very easily, and it's very easy to eat. That would be my suggestion. Let's see here. Gabe, big guy, my results are in. Original testosterone number 463, which is about mid-normal. So you were doing, but that number could be higher, definitely. And then I am now at 560 for your total testosterone. Fantastic. Nearly 100-point increase on the big guy testosterone booster. And your free testosterone was 8, and you're now at 10.5. I love it. And so you're a guy that had what I would call mid-normal, maybe on the lower end of mid-normal, right around close to mid-normal testosterone levels, seeing a nearly 100-point increase and a 2.5-point increase on free testosterone, which is very good from where that was at. That is, man, I love it. And this is nothing new to me. I've seen it, and I know from firsthand experience and from people emailing blood work over and over. I've never had anybody email blood work that has not come back better on the big guy testosterone booster. So thank you very much for actually getting that done. And it's stuff like this that does me a lot of good for people to see people getting results on the products. And on top of it, it's a libido booster as well. We're actually going to be marketing that as a male performance formula moving forward. I actually just approved the latest label, because like Amazon and Google, they got, like I've told you guys, they've got advertising restrictions now. Like, you're not allowed to call a product a testosterone booster and advertise it, but it could be a male performance formula. But it is a testosterone booster. The problem why they've started doing this is because there's so many products that don't actually do what they say. And they've cut back on people making claims that the products don't back up. See, the problem in that, for me, a company, and for me, like with Feed Me More Nutrition, is our supplements actually do what the label says. I know the supplements and the ingredients to use, and that's why we use more ingredients, and it costs 3 to 5 times more. But like, I tell people, go look at the bottle of the big guy testosterone booster, and then go look at all the other testosterone boosters, and you'll see without a shadow of a doubt, it doesn't even come close. Nobody, and these guys don't know. They don't know what works. And this is from years of trial and error and experimenting with different supplements and ingredients, finding, and like, I throw in there, Buteus superba is a supplement that is sold alone for people for it's like a natural Cialis Viagra type ingredient. With that, I give that to you guys in that thing for practically nothing at the correct dosage. With that, like, it's just little things like that that I feel really set us apart from the other supplement companies on giving value to the customers. So thank you for getting blood work. That I tell people, please go get blood work. You will see, go use it for 3 to 4 months. Get blood work before you start. Get it your final week. You will see the difference. So thank you very much, man, Gabe. And you're out of there. I'm doing very well, guys. Let's go. What's going on? Thank you, Jay Vu. Yeah, I posted a picture of my abs on Twitter. For people that call me fat. No. No, I've never visited Cancun or Tulum. I actually just learned about Tulum this year. I never even had heard of it. And a woman I know had brought it up. It supposedly that's the place to go, though. If I go there, I may never come back. I'm seeing what other questions we got here. Thank you very much, Jay Drip Ryback. I hope your subs reaches 400,000. No doubt it will. I think we're going to hit 350,000 soon. The channel is down drastically on views, despite continuing to grow. But even the monthly new subscribers has dropped to probably it's close to. It's not at its all-time low. It was lower at one other point. But this happens periodically. The channel will be like red hot, and then the channel just goes south. And I don't really understand it, any of that. And I talked about that stuff, what I believe is going on. But what do I think of Big Show going to AEW? I love Big Show. I think he's a good person to have there. He's a fun guy. It would be great to get 1 million subscribers. I think that does happen at some point, but it's odd. All my social media, the only place that's not the case is TikTok is the only one that is growing rapidly, and where my views are typically, I'll get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views quite regularly, and not on every video, but and then sometimes that channel even will occasionally go like really slow for a couple days or a few days, and then it just jumps right back. Like one video catches on, and then everything catches on. But we're about to hit 1.4 million, probably within the next 2 weeks on TikTok. But unlike everywhere else, like my follower count's gone up, but my views really haven't on anything, and it's an odd combination. I don't really understand how that's possible, but I just got to keep plugging away. I enjoy what I do at the end of the day, so it doesn't really change anything. It's just it would be nice to have a little more traction with some things, but I've talked about what we're dealing with, and it's pretty unfortunate. I've not thought of owning a restaurant. Food businesses are very difficult to do well in. Maybe that's not to say down the road. I think I would be highly interested in the right sort of vegan restaurant, but I've got some ideas actually on that stuff I've talked about. What am I doing nowadays? I run Feed Me More Nutrition, and that is my main business with the supplements available on feedmemore.com. That is a lot of work, constantly growing that from 3 supplements all the way up to 13, having a fulfillment center that handles everything, and a customer service team. So that is going on year 5. We're in year 5. Been nonstop work with all of that, and then everything else I do is built around, designed. All my social media work is for my brand and for Feed Me More Nutrition. And I've got good people, great people, amazing people that work with. I don't even like saying work for me, work with me. That help me tremendously. That make this all work. And I handle a lot of my personal pages, which I could do without wanting. I don't like doing that all the time, but it's very beneficial. And then I do the show, and the podcast has had multiple versions over the 5+ years of doing the show, where now it's more fan friendly, fan interactive, more just communicative designed to try to help people, even though we talk about pro wrestling occasionally, designed to help people with stuff, health, nutrition, supplementation, mindset, that has helped me, more conversational on that. And then my YouTube videos, which this is all on YouTube as well, on the podcast platforms. But the YouTube videos are designed for people to get to know me better and understand me and my sense of humor, in my brand, as I'm growing everything on Ryback TV. And in that is a sales funnel, as everything is a sales funnel. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that leads back to feedmemore.com one way or another through the marketing team, which I'm dealing with stuff with marketing right now and getting stuff ready for August. And probably will start here in the next few days, actually. Excuse me. So that's what I do pretty much with everything on that. And then on my training and getting myself ready with my shoulder to go back to pro wrestling and incorporate everything that I'm doing along with going back to pro wrestling. So, which my responsibilities, I will have people that will be doing like my purchase orders, and I will still like be overseeing things, but I'll be more looking at numbers more than anything financially when I'm back wrestling, because I won't have the time to do what I'm doing now. I'm doing what I'm doing now because I had to learn the business, and it's good to know your numbers and learn all that. And so, and like I said, I did everything. I did all the fulfilling for 3 years to keep myself busy when I was injured. I look back, I don't know how I did it all. We did a lot of business on Amazon too during that period where my website wasn't as busy. But my website really started catching on, and then I started getting really, really busy, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to sustain that for too long. So like now I could really focus on putting out more content and engagement in various factors on my social media, but, even just doing this show, I do this show for an hour. This show gets streamed onto Instagram and onto TikTok. That increases my viewers on that. It gets me sales through the supplements to a certain degree every day on that, as well as the show goes out. I get YouTube revenue over, for the month, the super chat revenue, TikTok revenue as well. And then on top of that, the ad revenue for YouTube on that, and the podcast. It goes on all the podcast platforms and podcast revenue every month on that. So you can see, like, I'm a true entrepreneur in the sense that everything I do, I'm in control of. But my brand and business is Feed Me More Nutrition, and this is my stuff, my job. But on top of that, I got Cameo, Memo, whatever you call it. Do those personal videos, those little things every month, and those little things, revenue just coming in from various outlets with that. But the supplements is my business. And for people, I think some people have a hard time understanding working for yourself, in how I'm truly blessed. It has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do, especially with my injuries and all the BS and everything going on and being suppressed. And I had to get really decent at marketing and sales on my end and understanding it, with everything going on, because my organic reach has been stifled tremendously. But like, it's at the end of the day, the cash register goes off 24 hours a day. But I had to work very hard to get to this point that I'm at right now, to work really hard. But the more I work, the more I make, right? The less I work, the less I make. I'm in control of my destiny in that sense with that, and in putting these things in place. And I'm doing this work so that when I go back to pro wrestling, I have multiple outlets, and that I believe will be multi-million-dollar outlets on top of my pro wrestling career, which is then going to open up new outlets and new opportunities for me that not a lot of people will be in the position to have that I will. So I took some steps back for some things to lay out this groundwork, to get everything in place and to build it so that too, when I go back to that, and then it's bam, we're off to the races. And I think you'll see that in the upcoming years with that. And people will be like, the guy's so lucky, the guy, blah, blah, blah. But it's this period that you guys are witnessing that I've sacrificed a lot in by choice to set myself up for the years to come. We've got a super chat Let's go to J. Let me see. Let me find that super chat. Where's that super chat at? I like to pull the super chats up to the screen. There it is. Gotcha, bud. Jay, great YouTube content, Ryback. I listen to all your live shows while I work out. Can't wait for your comeback. Feed me more. Great motivation. Thank you very much, Jay Bracchio. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Greatly appreciated. What is that? Is that $5 Canadian, if I'm not mistaken? What is that in US dollars? Is that a cup of coffee at Starbucks? I think it might be. I think it's pretty close. Maybe a medium. Thank you very much, my man. Always greatly appreciated, and I appreciate you listening to the show. India, what's going on? Instagram. Yeah, thank you. I always appreciate guys. You know, a guy came up to me in the gym, I told you the other day, and he goes, just thank you for the motivation. He, very nice man. I've talked to you multiple times. He ended up getting his license to be a substitute. And it was from a conversation and something that we had at a prior time. And I don't know if he was going through something. And but he thanked me again. And he goes, you never know, man, who's listening. He's like, you're doing good. And I appreciate that stuff because that's what it's intended for. In talking about the hungry mindset and motivating people. And we're all in different fights and different rounds. And it's I like, it gives me great pleasure to help as much as I can while I'm helping myself as well. Sammy Romero, thank you, Sammy, with the $4.99. That looks like that's American. $4.99 American. That's a cup of coffee from Starbucks. Large. I can get extra shot of it. Espresso on that one. Big guys wired off that super chat, Sammy. Thank you very much. Do I think Bigfoot, Sasquatch exist? Man, I don't not believe it. I think there's a possibility for anything at this point in time. I look back, guys, you know, with like the, you know, everything that's gone on, like then the government admitting like UFOs are real now. Finally, the government is admitted that UFOs are finally is a thing after all these years of like denying. I'm like, what do they know that they're softening us up for? Like, yeah, they exist now, guys. Like, I'm like, this is so. Like, I look back and like we have all these movies throughout our time, you know, where like Terminator. You watch Terminator and you think that's ridiculous. Back in the 80s or 90s, cyborgs walking around. Come on, this is really out there, is it? I think that conversation in 2021 is a little like, no, I could see that happening at some point in the future. Maybe not next year or the next 5 years, but the way things are going, I could see something like that because we are creating robots in different scenarios and artificial intelligence that's rapidly increasing each and every day, every week, every month, every year on that. Then you look at a movie like Jurassic Park and you go, that's ridiculous. They can't dinosaurs. They're not going to be able to bring back dinosaurs. That conversation in 2021 is a lot more realistic than it was when Jurassic Park came out. So does Bigfoot exist? It seems like that is so mild compared to other things that are going on. The movie with Tom Cruise, where the aliens and the spaceships are coming down, eating people and putting them in the things. I feel like that is realistic. Like if I woke up and just looked out my window here in Vegas and saw a big monster alien machine destroying things, I would be like, of course, why not? I would not literally be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I'd be like, of course this is happening. This is where we're at. Right? So I think it's very possible Bigfoot could exist because it turns out like everything that people say like that are conspiracy theories ends up kind of now like coming true. So it's like Who's the crazy ones now? And don't get me wrong, there's some crazy stuff out there. But I'm just like, this is pretty ridiculous the way things are going. Thank you very much. The Baby Yoda picture was from a friend of mine. Great woman. Let me take a look. We got anyone spamming the chat, they get shell-shocked down a pit of spikes. Go to Green Valley Grocery. They're actually building, Todd, a Green Valley Grocery not horribly far away from me. It's actually a Green Valley Grocery, and they just built a Dutch Brothers Coffee not far up here, which I went there the other day to Dutch Brothers Coffee again. The line was really long. It's always long there. So I walked up. You could order it outside, but like the sun's just beat 105 degrees out. And it took like 20 minutes to get the coffee with only one person in front of me outside. And like, I think they don't have a separate like person making the outside orders with the drive-through. And I was like, well, I would have been better off just sitting in my air-conditioned car. But the Dutch Brothers Coffee, it's not bad. It's not as good as Starbucks to me. But I'll have to give Green Valley Grocery a try. I've never had a Green Valley Grocery coffee. We got a $15 super chat. Let's go to that. That's a week's worth of coffee right there. Business days only. Where'd that $15? Oh, wait, no, is that a sticker? No, I want to be able to pull up the chat. I like to pull up the chats for you guys onto the big screen. Let me find it. Oh, there we go. Joshua Howe, thank you very much, my man. Thanks for the motivational content. Here's a few Starbucks coffees. Greatly appreciated. I love. You guys are going to have the big guy wired after this. Okay, guys, take it easy on these super chats. You guys are going to make the big guy rich. What is that? Is that pesos? What's that 40? What's that in? I got to do the conversion. We need a conversion specialist here. How to strongly arm. What is workout for that? So building big arms is usually a goal of many, many people. Taking a look at the chat real quick. Who's spamming? Shaw? We'll get rid of him. The Shaw's been shell-shocked. Typically with arms, you could attack them one day a week, or you could do kind of a small training session with them. Maybe, anywhere from 4 to 6 sets each for biceps and triceps on one day, and then give it 3-4 days and then hit them again, but a bigger workout for the arms. Triceps are 3/4 of the arm. So building big triceps is always really, really focusing on your triceps is a way to increase arm size quicker. Biceps are very important, though. I love training biceps. But it comes down to a combination of exercises. And I've always found the best rep range for building size and strength is the 4 to 6 rep range on that. And I think if there's a great workout program I've talked about on here called Maximum Overload Training by a brand called AST, Max OT. I would look up the Max OT workout and follow some of their workouts for arms for a few months and see if you can't put on some size. And again, it's going to come down to eating adequate calories as well. Yeah, I've already wrestled Drew McIntyre before. I've wrestled Drew quite a bit. Me and Drew wrestled some singles matches when I was Ryback before he left the company. I don't think I've ever had a celebrity crush other than maybe, I wouldn't call it a crush. I just thought Carmen Electra was really hot when I was younger. Carmen Electra. Her on MTV, the MTV days. I think she still looks great. I should give her a follow. Why haven't I followed her? That's the question. Thank you for reminding me of Carmen Electra. If you've been on it for 9 weeks, Gabe, you could do 3-4 months if you want, and then I would take a month off, take 4 weeks off, 3-4 weeks, and then hop back on. I think that there'd be nothing wrong with that. And two, whenever you get blood work done, however, if it's once or twice a year, it's always good for men too to always get their the prostate. Not you don't have to get the exam, but your levels checked for your prostate to make sure everything is always. That's always a sign. If anything, the numbers come back high, and it's the PSA test, if I'm not mistaken, on that. But then I think once you get to a certain age, they advise letting a doctor stick his finger up your ass. But I would just get the PSA test in the meantime also. Another super chat from Tyon Turner. Thank you very much. They say, if you go back to WWE, would you choose NXT, Raw, or SmackDown? Me personally, I would like to see you on NXT. Thank you very much. I have nothing against anything. I really have no interest wrestling in front of small crowds. So personally, if I'm going to do it, and I don't know anyone, and I know if I could wrestle in front of thousands of people, I want to wrestle in front of thousands of people. I have zero interest walking away what I walked away from to get my health back to go wrestle in front of small people. I go hard. I give everything I got. But if there's an opportunity to wrestle, and you got to understand too, I'm a business and a brand. Why would I want to wrestle on a show that doesn't even, hit a 1.0 on the ratings? Nothing against it. Coming at 700,000 or 600,000 or 500,000 or 800,000, when you could wrestle for a show that's in, the 1.6 to 2 million, 2.0, that has more eyeballs on it, right? Why? That's how I would look at things when that time comes for me with my shoulder and whatever opportunities are there. What are the eyeballs? What is beneficial? I'm at a point coming back. I'm ready to go. Let's go. It's all those things are factored in. Nothing against that. I think it is what it is, but you got to understand the business aspect of things as well. Extra Gaming, thank you for the super chat. Say hi, Ryan, please. I believe I just did. Hello, though, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Oh, another super. You guys are going crazy on the super chats today. Too bad Instagram has me banned on the badges. We've submitted a third review. Instagram will not. I've got hundreds of dollars sitting in the account that I can't pull out, which isn't a lot, but it was from when it was on briefly before, and then they shut them off on me and said that I guess my content violates their policies. From what I could see, they didn't give me a specific reason, but I don't know what content, because the lives are the only thing, the badges. So the lives don't do anything with their policy. So, but I know they had a thing on there, like you're not supposed to repost other people's content, but like I post other people's videos all the time with my own captions. It's a great business strategy. I learned that a long time ago with that. But that has nothing to do with the badges, because you don't make money on those. Badges are for the lives. So I don't know what. I wish there was a way to actually communicate with Instagram, like email or chat. And even phone would be the easiest, but none of these companies have any of that. So Darren asked, have you tried the Tempeh? Is it Tempeh? I believe ribs. PDX or has PDX. Oregon PDX or has good ones. I don't know what that is. Can you describe, Darren, what that is more, please? Thank you very much. Extra Gaming. I saw you wrestle in Albany. I actually may have a booking coming up in upstate New York, which I want to go back because I have a bunch of family back there, and I haven't been up there in a long time, to go do an autograph signing possibly in September, working all that out. I might start doing more appearances leading up, just autograph signings, until I'm ready to go back, just to kind of get around wrestling again and to travel a bit. We'll have to see, though. There's a lot going on. I know Vegas, supposedly we just put the mask mandate back in place for indoor, whatever indoor areas, which they're saying for high transmission areas, which I don't even know what those are in town, what would classify. I have a feeling it's just every business is going to make people wear masks again. They're really pushing the Delta they're pushing the Delta variant of people getting sick, even though from what I understand, not more people aren't dying. It's just the cases have gone up. But they're covering it in a very different way. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with all of that. Ryback is my real name, correct? Every place in Vegas is high transmission. The only place that, gyms are supposedly the least. And I would say that's because people that go to the gyms typically are healthier, which is crazy. Build your immune system up. You don't get sick as easy or as often. I haven't been sick in going on 9 years. But it is what it is. I'm all for the vaccine as well for people that want to get it. And I support people that have nothing. I believe that if you're healthy and strong, you shouldn't be required to have to go get it or to risk or sacrifice or take any chances. Never been that way in life. And there's a lot of stuff going on, like business, financially too. I've gotten zero anything with anything during all of this. Nobody has my back on it. And, even though I've followed all the things and all the rules, and it's, I think we're in a very interesting time in human history. There's a lot of people losing everything with what's going on. And I've experienced business difficulties on delays with all of this. And we need to get the world back and just up and running full blown. And I think we need to be pushing out, building our immune systems, regardless, vaccine, no vaccine, immune system boosters, and proper diet. There's the studies now showing vegan diets, you're 70% less likely to contract COVID or to have a serious case of COVID. Why isn't that mainstream news? That is something that would directly improve the situation instantly. We live in crazy times. And I think that's what people are upset at, over the lack of certain information while the other things are pushed. And, I think rewarding people with junk food and with alcohol to go get a shot is completely ass backwards. And with cash, also with cash. And I think that instantly makes people question, what the hell are we doing? I look at it from both sides. Lyndon, brother, you're getting blocked. That's just ridiculous. I have zero time for that kind of BS. Extra Gaming, did you ever participate in a Royal Rumble? Yeah, I was in every single one of them. Have you ever not? In 2013, I almost won it, brother. Some say I did win it. Let's see. What do we got else going on? I don't know what my best experience from Turkey was. All cities and stuff are the same to me. Every country, it's all wrestling arenas, airplanes, hotels, and it's all pretty consistent. Oranges are great for your immune system as well. That's what our kick out immune system booster with Feed Me More Nutrition. It's absolutely top notch. That's what I developed that after I was with WWE, when I was with them and got pneumonia and had to wrestle, and I was coughing up, hard phlegm, couldn't breathe. And I go, I can't be getting sick like this. Ever since I created that and started taking that, Allison's a secret weapon in that as well. I don't get sick. with it, despite what my diet was. Even though my diet was always, I had vegetables in my diet. I've always eaten vegetables, even though now I eat way more, though, being vegan. Josh, yeah, that's a good analysis here, observation. Ryback, I miss you in the WWE, man. The top class talent seems few and far between these days, which in my opinion is why ratings are low and the wrestlers don't have any conviction. What's your take? I would agree with that. I think there's it's more than this is. There's a thing about having star power and energy. I'm a big believer in this. And also you need, so for everybody that thinks it's all about like flips and dives and moves, that's not, and I've done some of this stuff. It's not like, that's not overly difficult. The whole premise of pro wrestling was always built on the illusion of it being a real fight. And the people that are able to do that the best always did very well. But you need larger than life people, personas, characters that look, talk, that like you need the whole package. And then in that you have your big like Roman Reigns is somebody I consider a star, and he's always looked like a star, regardless, right? With that, you need Roman Reigns, and guys, you need more of that. You need as many guys like that as possible, actually, with that. And if you actually had a roster full of guys like Roman Reigns, the product would actually be, and you eliminated all the high flyers, the ratings would be way higher. But I'm an equal opportunity pro wrestling fan. I do like the various styles, and I think they all have their place in that. But you can't say we're going to not have as many big stars and then we're going to push these other ones as the big stars. People don't buy it as a whole, and they've given their feedback on it. And we're left with numbers lower than they've ever been. So you need a combination of guys like that have the energy, the persona, and I'm just using Roman as an example. I think they've been far better overall, even though I think Roman is absolutely on fire right now and is really coming into his own. But it's a combination of things that you need, and you can't neglect that. And it's people, you need larger than life personas. And it's not just how well do they do an orchestrated fight. It's the easiest part of it. Believe it or not, it is. It really is. And I love that part of it. But I think the further you get away from, when you got people in the crowd, and if the majority of the roster, the crowd, people believe that they could beat them up in a fight, I don't think that's a good thing. I don't. I think, and you're watching entertainment and you're watching a show. It's like watching a movie, though. You need to be able to suspend your belief. And the more you're able to suspend that belief, the better it is. But based off of ratings and what we're seeing, the casual audience and people that watch at home, that live normal lives, that do other things, are telling you they don't believe in the movie as much as they used to. And that's a fact. And that's not, now there's a lot of other things that go into it. I understand that. And I think viewing habits are a little different. But if you're putting out a great product, and other shows have shown this, and sporting events have shown this, people will watch. Why isn't that going on in pro wrestling like it used to? And I think it's the various points you've said and that I brought up. But it doesn't mean it can't continue to grow and get better. I just think you need to let people be stars, and you need to have crossover, and you got to let other guys go out and do other things. I think it would be very beneficial. You got a guy like The Fiend who's off TV. I think it would have been very, a great opportunity while The Fiend's off TV. If The Fiend filmed a big movie and he got an opportunity to go do something that would raise his star power and turn a whole world of people onto who The Fiend is. You do that. People want to see celebrities and rich people. I feel like people don't feel like they watch that as much anymore as what we used to. Because at the end of the day, it's pro wrestling. It's not UFC. It's entertainment. And you want to see larger than life personas. And I think you need a mixture of people for that. But you can't neglect the star power. And I think that's happened. And they were always good at choosing the right guys to push based off the guys that had the right energy. That was always factored in. And I don't think that's factored in nearly as much now. I think people will be like, oh, this guy's good at moves and he loves wrestling and he says he loves wrestling. We're going to push him as like a big time star. I don't think people buy into that as much. I've never seen that in any other sport or anything. It doesn't matter how much you love something. It shouldn't. I think it's great if you love what you do. I love pro wrestling, but I don't think it should be, oh, it's my life. I love it more than anything. I don't think that gives you a free pass on, oh, we should make you a star. I don't. You don't see that in any other sport where you don't, if you're a running back in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Steelers and you're the fourth string running back and you're just not producing, but you love football more than everybody. You've got that Rudy mentality. That does not mean you should be the starting running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that that needs to apply to pro wrestling. It's not just the love and the ability to do a bunch of moves with not a lot of psychology. It's my opinion. Good question here, Roger. M79 Ryback, what's your advice on people being depressed for no reason? Well, one, if you're depressed, there's always a reason. There's always something. And so even if you don't think there's a reason, I'm going to say fix your food, you fix your mood. If you're not consuming a proper diet, and I think your food could be causing depression and you don't even know it. So there's always a reason, first and foremost, which I think is always important to get to the root of the reason, which get a pen and paper and write down what makes you happy and what makes you not feel happy. Why are you depressed? Are you depressed because you don't have energy? You don't have motivation? You don't have something you're passionate about? Well, you look at those things and you got to ask yourself the tough questions, right? You go, well, why am I not passionate? I'm tired all the time. Well, why are you tired all the time? Your food. You're not doing. Are you getting proper sleep? So then we got to start doing these fundamental habits to fix our life. That is going to set us up to start feeling better, to where it might be a basic thing. Maybe you don't get enough sleep. Maybe that's the fix. Maybe your diet, you're consuming a lot of artificial sweeteners, aspartame and sucralose. You're depressed and tired all the time. You wake up feeling like a zombie. Well, you got to cut those out. You see where I'm getting at? So you got to start having this conversation with yourself and start looking for what the possible reason is. You will go on to say your advice about staying in positive energy is so profound, but how do you continue to balance that and stay in it? Well, I make a lot of good decisions that will, I get to bed at a decent hour. I get proper rest. I wake up. I have a routine that is beneficial to my goals and what I'm doing. I know the things I need to do every day to continue to go in the right direction for my life. And I try to make is the least amount of bad decisions as humanly possible on a consistent basis. So I have that understanding. I know that I need to stay in shape because I want to go back to wrestling. I need to keep my conditioning high because I want to go back to pro wrestling. So every day and throughout the week, I have my training and conditioning program to keep me mentally in a good place to know that I could go do what I used to do at any given time because I've kept myself in the game physically on that end, right? While I'm doing all these other things, good habits consistently. And I know what the good habits are for me. So you see that allows me to stay in a good mood. I have these things in my daily day-to-day life that keep me in a good mood, that keep me motivated, that keep me able to go to bed and to start the day. And I know I got to get work done every day. And so I keep my schedule with that. That's how I'm able to stay in it. I don't make bad decisions where I go out and party all night and go blow money and then sleep in till 1 PM. And now I'm stressed out. I haven't done anything. My body's going to shit because I'm making bad decisions on a regular basis. That's making me depressed. I'm not getting the work. I'm not getting as many sales as I need to because I'm not getting up at 5:30, 6 a.m. doing the work that I need to do. I'm not staying on top of my social media. I'm slacking in other areas because I'm trying to rush through the day to get caught up. You see what I'm talking about? It's good decisions consistently allow you to put you in a good position on that. And that's going to be a little different for all of us. Joshua, thank you very much for the super chat. Satron. That's 3 cups of coffee from Starbucks. Thank you very much. Thanks for the insight. Absolutely appreciate the lifting updates, advice, and positivity. Actually got me back in the gym, so it made a difference for me. Congratulations on your success. Joshua, thank you very much. And good job getting back in the gym. And it makes me feel good that I'm able to help motivate some people and get everyone going to some degree, because the world needs as much people that are working and doing good and inspiring other people with the way that we're going. And we all have the ability to do that. And I hope, you have the opportunity to do that and motivate others. And I think that's a very powerful thing. So thank you very much. Well, Skip Sheffield did fit me when I was a corn-fed cowboy from College Station, Texas. It did not fit me when I was no longer that character. I would definitely recommend checking out our 10-count creatine on feedmemore.com for Feed Me More Nutrition. And it has creatine HCl in it as well. You will like it. Dylan with the super chat. Thoughts on Goldberg's physique in his prime? A monster. Goldberg always had the monster traps, which I think is, to me, it's one of the best ways to get over in pro wrestling is to have monster traps. I think anybody that's had big traps in pro wrestling has done fairly well. And I recognized that as a kid. I was always a fan of Psycho Sid. He grabbed my attention right away with the blonde hair and the big traps. And Goldberg as well when he came on the scene with that, back in that, and I have my thoughts, and I think it was a different era in pro wrestling. I think steroids were more prevalent. I don't think his physique is the same with or without him on that, but I think in that period, that was the majority of people in the game on that. So, but I thought he looked absolutely fantastic, no doubt. And and I'd have no way 100% of knowing. Bill, maybe he wasn't on that, but I know in that period there that was a whole different ball game with no drug testing in wrestling. No traps, no tap. It was big traps, no tap. I have tapped once in my entire career. I only submitted once. Was it once? I believe it was only once. What's up, man? Of Steel? Justin, good to see you, bud. Michael, do I still have my Skip Sheffield cowboy hat? I actually do. I've got everything upstairs in my laundry room in one of the little drawers up there. I've got old Ryback Terminator gear. I've got the old Silverback gear, and I've got Skip Sheffield gear. I have trunks I never even wore that I got made for Skip Sheffield that while I was out injured. And then I changed to Ryback, or that I got right before I got injured. I got a bunch made for on the road for WWE, and then I changed to Ryback when I came back. So I actually had to really talk to Armando Estrada for a couple hours again today. Last time I called him, we talked for 3.5. He's coming out to Vegas for Labor Day weekend. So me and him are going to get together, and while he's out here. So I haven't seen him since 2012 at the Royal Rumble, when we went and pitched working together to Vince. But he's coming out, but I had a good conversation with him. Then the asshole goes and puts up that I talked about beating Vader in a shoot. He's such an asshole. Me and him talking, he's one of my go-tos for business conversations as well. I've always admired, and I've recognized his talent. Armando Estrada has a great wrestling mind. I think it's one of the true true thing. What's the word I'm looking for? One of the biggest things I think that I think a big letdown is that Armando Estrada is not involved in the pro wrestling industry and hasn't been for a long time. He's got a great wrestling mind and business attitude, and I believe he was a great manager and contributed greatly to Umaga's success. And I don't know why. And there were some things in his accounts all screwed up as well on Twitter. Nobody sees his stuff as well. He got let go shortly after because there was some stuff going on with him that was just crazy, all political stuff. And but it upsets me he's not involved in pro wrestling because he loved the business and I think the business benefits with him in it, but it is what it is. Good to see all of you. Thank you guys for joining me. Dylan, another super chat. He eats 15,000 calories a day and 500 grams of protein. I highly doubt he did steroids, considering he most likely got his physique from the NFL. I'm not going to get into that conversation. I can tell you already that the Dylan, we're just not going to get into it on that. Thank you. We got some YouTube people coming in. Another super chat. These super chats are on fire tonight. Thank you, guys. You coming back or no? Project Rizzo? Of course I'm coming back. I'm dealing with, I've talked about needing the 5-disc fusion and shoulder replacement. I've had 19 stem cell procedures. My back is 100%. My shoulder is in the final stages. It is something this has never been overcome before. And I'm almost there. I see 3 therapists a week. I'm on my softball for usually over 2 hours a day, broken up into multiple sessions. In between everything, I literally do work morning and night while I'm on the softball. I roll for a few minutes. I take a couple minute break. I do stuff. I go back onto the softball because you can't just stay on it constantly. You got to let the muscle relax, get different areas. And so it's literally been while I'm balancing doing everything else. So I do believe I'm going to be in a very good position coming up here this year with where we're at right now. And every week it's getting closer and closer. My range of motion is really coming in now. In functionality, the functional ability of the shoulder is very good. We just got to keep getting this remaining tissue that's stuck in a few areas that has already started going. So I just ask people to be patient and to try to have an understanding that this is something that's never been done before. I've not had the help of any promotion. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get my health back. And that there's a lot of lies and a lot of BS out there and a lot of negativity and hate. And all I ask is if you just watch my content from the beginning and listen and watch me, you'll get the truth. And you'll know me and understand me. And then, but if you choose to not know and watch that and you want to read dirt sheets or other things, it's like you're not going to get an accurate take on it. But some people like not getting an accurate take on things. But I just try to block that and stay away from it, and I keep doing my thing. I think I'm going to be doing a garden grill. That's another thing I've actually, with Ryback TV, one of the things, just so you guys know, with my limitations a bit too with Sophie, my dog who's had 8 ruptures in the last 3.5 years, 4 years, she, 3.5 years. I can't leave. I've been very limited on what I could do. And I've had to learn how to make things work. I lost out on a lot of money on stopping appearances 3 years ago to keep her alive, which is why when I hear things and people say other things, it's very personal to me because it couldn't be any further from the truth and of things, of what's gone on. But even like my feeding time, I would love to be able to go drive to California and go try different restaurants and go to different places and travel a bit. But I can't. I have Sophie with her and I can't do it. And so I, even with like my YouTube, I'm limited, but I don't let that hold me back. I still do my content, but you know, I can't be eating massive amounts of junk, especially it's just not, you know, I do my one food video a week. You know, ideally I'd like to do two, but I don't like eating out as much as possible. And everything I've ever done has always been done for the business. You know, and I used to do my cheat meals on there, and I would make those a little more than they ever would be on that. But it benefited me greatly doing those on getting attention and growing the brand and the business. And everything was always done with that in mind. But you know, I've had restrictions, and I don't let it stop me. I don't make excuses. I keep doing my thing and finding ways to make things work. So, but you know, when the shoulder is ready and I'm not in pain, you know, for the first time in my life now, ever since I got into wrestling, I think there will be a great opportunity that comes around. I'm in a very good place in life, physically, mentally, financially, everything, that I think everything's going to be very good. I haven't been drinking. I don't know when I'm going to do the next whining with the Ryback. When I do have red wine in there, so I could get that primed up at any point. But I've been very, very disciplined here as of late. All right, you guys. With that, I got to get the dogs out. I got to make my final meal of the night here. And I had a big day of conditioning today. I got to get up early and do my work and get a big workout in tomorrow. I've got a doctor's appointment. I think we're going to get an MRI to look at everything to see how everything is healed, just so I have those documented from the first MRI to the last, because a lot of people say stem cells don't work, and we've regrown 5 discs fully. So they do work. And I think it's good to document everything for the future, with where we're going with everything. So I got a visit with my stem cell doctor here, and check in with him and get some MRIs scheduled. And so we could just have for history, just so people and for the medical community that this stuff is documented. So I'm trying to do my part so that information is known to everybody. And so I got to do that tomorrow. And what I might do is I might try to get a feeding time video in tomorrow or Thursday. I got 2 shoulder appointments Thursday with Dr. Carlos and Dr. Sean as well. So, which that will end up being a cardio day. And tomorrow will be a big training day. So I got to get that done at a decent hour before, otherwise it'll be too hectic later in the day. So, and hopefully should be recording tomorrow night if all goes well. So thank you as always. And guys, Feed Me More Nutrition, feedmemore.com. Save 20% with discount code Ryback Show 20. I always greatly appreciate you guys. If you subscribe to the show on any podcast platform, you can always listen to them or past episodes if you do not want to watch. And other than that, guys, stay hungry. Feed me more.